back like we never left. We are here. Isaac is in the studios finally. Good morning, Isaac.
Good morning.
I had made a date with my mother. She said, I want to listen to that man. And then you took your time on the road.
Just tired of
Is
streaming.
it me who took the time or the road who
the
took
road
the
became-
time
Took
with
the
me?
time.
There must have been a lot of traffic on the road.
There you
right?
go.
So my mother had started wondering, is that man coming?
I'm here.
Now that Isaac is here, we have both good news and bad news.
Let's start with the.
With the bad news,
Yeah, let's
we
start with the
clear
bad
the bad
news.
news,
Yeah,
yeah. Finish it
right?
fast.
The bad news is about the sanctions. Okay,
Yeah, being
Yes.
sanctioned.
I have just seen the Chinese embassy in the US. They have written, now forget the sanctions, let's get to global issues. If war is what the US wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we are ready to fight till the end. This is Chinese embassy, right? And somebody made a comment that this is the time the pastors would be telling us, Imeruka.
The world is coming to an
Organize
end.
yourself.
It's the end of the world.
Gather yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But clearly, this is a proper trade war.
There's a
that
war in
Trump
every
is-
corner of the
Trump
world,
is
by the way.
starting up.
Now, we want to bring it back to the things we understand, which are the things which affect our pockets every day. Because for me, I tend to use these global issues, regional issues, and wonder with that one question, how is this finally going to affect my pockets? Okay? Because there will be an effect. So today we want to talk about the myth and what?
And facts.
And facts regarding
Managing money.
managing your money, especially in times such as these. Okay. Earlier on, we was talking with Juliana. Juliana is trying to downsize,
Okay.
given the sanctions from her landlord.
Even landlords are giving sanctions.
Hey,
you
my
guy.
friend.
Not even state level.
Life is not.
Now it's
The ground is not balancing at all.
not state level sanction.
Uh-uh.
Now we have
Landlord
umudugudu.
level sanctions.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then the RIS are saying that you need a lot of money
Yeah.
to be able to start something, to invest in something. And I tend to believe sometimes that when you go in small, you're likely to lose everything.
By the way, Jesse is a believer of not starting small.
Mm.
And I've always told him, me, I'm a believer in starting small.
Mm.
But
And he says,
doesn't
no way.
the Bible
doesn't
clearly
work.
say that those who have shall be added unto?
Those who are faithful in little. If you want to go to that scripture.
But there is also one that says that those who have will be added.
Yeah.
And then who have little, even the little will be swept away.
They did not say it will be swept away. That verse I don't know.
Just is adding some sauce,
Yeah.
some bean stew, some meat stew onto that
Clearly.
scripture. No, it's true. There's a reality of faithfulness. When you manage well what you have, you build confidence in others that you can handle more when you handle what you have best. But there's also value in starting small. When you make mistakes, and you must make mistakes to learn, the impact of the mistake is small when you start small. When you start big and you make mistakes, and please believe you will make mistakes. Mistakes are necessary
Yeah.
because you're learning, you're acclimating, you're becoming more and more experienced in something. To gain that experience means you make a mistake and you learn from it. When you start big, the mistakes, the impact is big.
That there are platforms that help you to start out small and have really good impact on your pockets.
Yeah, but the question becomes, what is a big impact? Because if you are saying that you want to plant one maize seed, and after you plant that maize seed, you want to receive 10 heads of maize from one maize seed, that one is not realistic. You'll get one, maybe two,
3 cones probably.
3 is you're really pushing it.
But in Africa, we don't believe in starting small.
That's a mistake.
I know I spoke to a friend of mine. We were attending a wedding, and he told me, my wedding was in this exact place. I said, what a big hall. I said, yes, because we had about 1,500 guests.
Welcome.
That's crazy.
Welcome.
1,500.
Who knows 1,500 people?
That's the question. Even if you asked me to count
Are those
100
all family
relatives,
members?
Even 100.
or-
to name
How?
100
How?
relatives, I cannot.
Even 100 is a lot. Even 50 relatives. They're too many.
Who knows 1,000? I mean, social media, it's okay. You don't know them. They're on your social media
But you
contacts.
can't even name
They-
them.
But you don't know them.
You can't name
who
their
knows
second
1,000?
They
name.
probably
Who has the
invited
time?
all their followers on social media.
Everyone on the live.
Hey, whoever follows
We are
me.
coming. Everyone on live. We are on the way.
Have you guys arrived? Where are you? The hall is empty.
Wow.
Anyway, I mean, it's like, for me, I might be strange. It's very possible that I'm a strange person.
Strange to your own self?
It's strange to others. For me, myself, I think I'm okay.
Normal.
To me, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
But what is normal? Anyway, having 1,000 people at your wedding, it's like having 1,000 people at
A funeral?
At a funeral.
well, I mean,
A funeral.
at like
1,000 should come.
your child's
Birthday.
birth. Oh, my child has been born. Let's bring 1,000.
Waiting
for
at
what?
the hospital?
What?
For what? Why?
It's like throwing
It's
your
an
first
intimate.
first child's birthday.
You bring 1,000 people.
And I mean all that for what?
At
It's-
age 1, the baby has turned 1.
He will never remember.
Doesn't remember anything here.
You want to assure them you are fertile.
Oh really?
Who are you assuring?
The people around.
For what purpose?
What are the results?
No,
Those
what's-
who
what's
who
the
thought-
benefits?
Those who thought.
So that you'll do what with them?
Hey,
You will,
go.
you will fertilize them also?
Annoy them.
oh my gosh! Fertilize them as well.
In case they need fertilizer. You are there. For what?
I know, right?
And yet we are going to spend a year's worth of funds, a year's worth of expenses to entertain 1,000 people. Those people don't care about you. 1,500 people can't care about you.
They will never
It
care
can't.
about you.
It can't happen. At least 70% of them are backbiting from where they are as you buy their lunch.
Yeah. How you look terrible in your gown.
How do you wear such a thing?
How
How
why?
terrible your food is.
Yeah.
You invite
How
people
do
to a
you
wedding.
pick
where
The
you
decor
cook
is
such
bad.
The
food.
decoration is horrible.
Hey.
And
Did
you
they
have
to-
all this money.
Did we have to come here to eat this bad food?
This we could have cooked at home.
Food they haven't
The
even
speeches are
paid
too
for.
long.
The speech is long. We are tired. We want to go home.
Boring.
The sun is hot.
Is there an after party?
It's too cold.
Oh.
Where is the
Imagine.
alcohol?
After food, they
Yeah.
want to go to an after party.
We
which you
even
have
want
funded.
alcohol at the
Yeah.
wedding.
Of course. For what?
I mean, why would you give us food and you don't give us alcohol to quench this food?
We have nothing to swallow the
Hey,
food
what
with.
is this? Which
Now,
wedding
I think
is this?
there's a saying that at an average person's funeral, 10 people cry.
Only 10.
10. And fewer people will be crying depending on the weather.
Listen, I don't
If
know
it's
who.
raining,
I
when
don't
it's
know
very
who.
hot,
I don't know
what
who
happens?
would
When it's
cry
hot,
on my.
there's no-
I don't know who would cry on my funeral. Really.
Uh-huh.
I don't see you guys crying.
Oh, really?
Would you?
It's that bad?
Would you cry?
I mean, are you that bad? That's
For me,
No,
my funeral, I want entertainment. Songs such as Chikankane. You know that song?
We'll tell Kivumbi to perform live.
so we can shake a bit.
Like shake it. Eh?
Let's go
shake
to the next myth.
Sure.
This one disturbs me quite a lot because I'm a fan of real estate. I love structures. I love to see people constructing. I love to look at good homes. But then there is that renting provides the opportunity to throw away money, is it?
That when you rent, you're throwing money. Sometimes when we talk about renting, I say when you rent, you live in a hotel.
What do you mean?
So when you're a renter, you are living in a hotel. Do you know, like, you have been to a hotel?
Mm-hmm.
You enter at night, and you do what in the morning?
You wake up and go.
You get out. Whether you are staying there one night, 1 week, 1 year, You finish paying whatever it is you're paying for the hotel, you get out. It's not your home.
Mm.
When you're renting, it's like living in a hotel because you can stay there 20 years and you can remake the whole house in your image. It's beautiful.
It still want
Decor.
to be your house.
You get out.
Mm.
Gather your things, collect yourself. Gather yourself from all the corners of the house and get out. So there's a sense that when we are renting, we're wasting money because we're paying money that we're paying to stay. You pay, you stay, you pay, you stay. You stop paying, you get out.
But is it true that we're wasting money, really?
Well, you don't own it.
Must we
So
all,
that's the
must we
argument.
all
Isaac,
own houses?
lately I've been reading and the reading from money counselors who are saying it's better off for you to rent, okay, and put your money into a space that will build you more money.
Okay.
And then later, after you have made money, instead of you going to get a house on loans, you can have your own house because you have enough funding.
So owning a home has a lot of benefits, financial benefits, even emotional ones. Some stability. Okay, this is my house. No one can take it from me. Blah blah blah.
You're likely not to fall sick when you own a home.
I don't know where Jesse
Says
got
You,
that.
you don't have the
that
stress.
statistic.
These
Your
emotional
stress reduction.
sicknesses, the stresses. This guy is.
But it's also
I
traditional.
wouldn't argue.
It's also
Traditional.
traditional.
There's expectation on it.
You know how you all grow up, study, get married, and they're like the next thing you do, the first money you get is to build a house.
Please get a
Yeah.
home of your own.
You know, like it's very, very traditional. It's
your
just in
home.
our mind, like
Yeah.
we're built that way.
But I won't deny that there are financial benefits. However, those financial benefits depend. Depends on, for example, if you plan to keep rooted where you are, stay where you are. Do you plan on moving? You plan on staying where you are by the time you're developing, you're building that home or buying it. It depends on the cost of maintaining that home, especially if you're not living in it. It depends on the taxation on that home. It depends on the building costs for that home. One of the big dependencies is how fixed you are. Because so many of us, we are movers. We like to run around. So when you're thinking about owning a home or trying to move away from the concept of renting, think about your permanence in that area. Because if you decide to plant roots and then every 5 years you are uprooting yourself, then you might not be making the best financial decision. Ultimately, what's most important is if that home is saving you money, if renting is saving you money, one of those, like you're not overspending on your home ownership or you're not overspending on your rent, what are you doing with the money difference? What are you doing with the money left over? What are you doing with the efficiency that you've created by owning a home effectively or by renting? So that the money that you have left over, you're planting it.
Let me give you a story of he apparently is Juliana's friend. He owns a home in a posh neighborhood. The children have gone Muri America. Quicker, they've grown up. And he's home with the wife. They're quite rich. At one point, he chooses, I'm going to give away this home. It's a posh home.
It's too much home.
Chinese come and they're willing to pay $40,000 on a month, and they're paying for 2 years up front. This man says, I'll take an apartment. I will rent and benefit from this
revenue.
new income.
I would
Yeah.
be that man myself.
Is renting wasting money?
Well,
You
I
can't
mean,
say.
you've answered the question by how you've described the situation. So first of all, this is
But by
also
the
a
way,
common thing.
even if my children were still going to school and they were still here, I would be that man.
Get out.
Get out. Let's rent an apartment. I swear.
Everyone to their own apartment.
Everyone find their place. Find your level.
What? How much dollar?
No, so
Hey.
so it's very possible when you build a big, beautiful home that'll manage your whole family. You have space for guests. You have space for office. You have space for lounging around. It's very possible that you might soon find your house, your home empty. as children grow up and move out.
Mm.
Then you find yourself in a situation potentially like this gentleman you have mentioned, who has too much house. There are 2 of them in the home.
The
And the house
is
was
empty.
built for 6.
Yeah.
And there are only 2 inside.
My neighbor has such a beautiful home. Actually, I'm stuck in the neighborhood because of his home.
You can't leave.
It makes me feel rich.
I need to stay
Oh my God, I
nearby
need to sip on my
in case some money
Who
can
does
spill
that?
over. I have to stay near.
These are the guys who take pictures for the neighbor's house.
You
and then say,
understand the
Listen.
mathematics. Uh-huh.
So, it's huge. Different balcons in every corner. It
You can
stretches from
see-
one street
Uh-huh.
into the next street. Now, visitors come to my house and they keep asking me this question. Are there people in this house? I'm like, yeah, but I only see a security guard. I've never seen people. Not a child on the balcony. The swimming pool is dry. There is no water because there are no children to play in the swimming pool.
not even adults.
Not even adults. Sometimes owning a house can be the most useless thing.
It's demanding. You know, especially when the bigger the house you have,
Maintaining, Yeah.
maintenance becomes another issue. Now you imagine maintaining a pool and nobody's swimming in it.
Imagine,
neighbors.
imagine,
Call the neighbors.
imagine
Please, somebody
the
call
cash
Jesse.
power, the cash
The
power
cash
you have to
power,
buy to keep
exactly.
the security lights on and
Aha,
everything.
through the whole
crazy.
parameter.
Now it's me who uses the security light because there are
It
quite
lights your house.
several. They light my entire place.
Yes.
I don't have to buy cash power.
Yeah, for what?
Why would I?
So we need to be careful when we make these kinds of financial decisions. That you might end up with more home than you need. You might end up held down in a space that you don't need to be in because you have said, now this is my home. Renting at a reasonable rate with some money left over to go into the farm and plant that money so it can grow. That might be a more wise, prudent financial strategy.
So there's a situation. This is a true story. My sister and I were having an argument about constructing. Would you rather have construct in the city, the plots in the city, construct a house,
Which are very pricey, by the way.
Extremely pricey.
or go to the village and add a house on other family house, like just add your house on the side on the farm, and look fancy in the village, and everyone says, "Oh, so and so's daughter
Make
built."
people jealous.
You know, so we're having that argument, and she's like, "Oh no, for me, I think I still want to go to the farm and build a house," and I'm like, "Okay, for what?" So you see now my mentality keeps changing as I grow older and see things differently. What would you advise though?
No, I mean it depends on what the individuals want, and also I would also think about the relationship with the family. Are you the kind of family who can stay together
Yeah.
for an extended period of time? I don't mean visiting one another and giving kisses and hugs and telling stories. I mean living together.
Absolutely.
You know, living together is no joke, huh?
So we are
Especially
that,
with
we are
in-laws.
that close. We're very close. That in that we know our farmhouse, everyone is entitled to build a house and live. We are that very close. It's very okay.
Now, if you can live together, I think it's a good idea. Personally, I like the peace and quiet that comes from being outside the city.
Yeah.
I also like the convenience of being near work and business activities. So for me, if I had the means, I'd build a home outside.
At the farm.
Yeah,
What do you mean the means? To have a car to bring you to town?
all kinds of financial
you
and
want to
drive
fly.
physical
from the
means.
farm every other day.
I would want to stay outside, maybe on the weekend, or when I have nothing that's keeping me in town.
How
And
about
then have somewhere small to stay in town.
but also
when I have
still
to.
pay the expenses in town and still pay the rent in town?
That's
when
what I'm
you-
saying. If you have the means.
Yeah, by the way, I think Akajura, they have these choppers, these small
Yeah,
helicopters.
that's what the level.
$600.
that can fly you to
They'll drop you
Rubavu.
home. Yeah.
That's Jesse's level. I
Yeah,
don't spend $600 on fuel.
But who is this guy we're talking to?
This is Jesse.
I
Jesse
mean, look
doesn't
at the examples
spend,
he's
he doesn't
giving
spend
us.
money on perimeter lights for the sake of his neighbor. The neighbor manages
It's
with his
Jama.
mansion.
And then it's the same guy telling us
Uh,
to fly Akagera Motors.
No,
Akagera
Akagera
Aviation.
Aviation,
Aviation.
yes.
Fly
And
to
you
Rubavu for a
just hear
weekend
you
and back.
dugu. Jesse has arrived. Dugu.
All the villagers should stand up.
I mean, when you have the means, instead of staying in a big townhouse, which is costing you a lot of money,
Yeah.
you can choose to be at the waterside, live in a spacious area, greenery.
I prefer
I love
space.
living on the farm, 100%.
I prefer
the
the
yeah.
space.
to just go home.
Flying is
Unfortunately-
another story.
Unfortunately, I love living on the farm. Like, it's so, I mean, the serene there is something else.
Yeah.
However, when you get to think about the expenses in the city, you'd like to think I prefer constructing a small house in the city where I won't spend on rent and other expenses.
Yeah, but now
Save.
you're going to be shy. People are flexing on you. Instead of Jesse trying to stay near you, he's staying where he's staying so he can be near
Seeing
that
that
mansion.
good house, yeah.
Other ones will be running away from you in
Because of your small
because
house.
of your small thing. That's embarrassing.
So we'd rather take money to the village.
But look, the more we are concerned with appearances
Mm.
and opinions of others, the more brokenness we have to
Yeah.
struggle with.
True.
So you're not going to impress people who don't like you, Jesse.
Mm.
Julian,
Mm.
if somebody is not your friend, you can give them the moon and they'll complain that you've disorganized the ocean.
Mm.
Did you see what Zelensky
That the moon
did?
is too bright.
It's
He
too
appeared
bright,
in a
it's
t-shirt
blinding.
to meet Donald Trump.
Somebody
And
says,
people
"Why
were
are you not
complaining,
in a
why are you
suit?"
wearing a t-shirt? You've come to ask for money and you...
And you're a beggar and
You
you,
were a
can't
beggar.
dress well.
I'm that beggar with a choice. Zelensky is the beggar with a choice.
A guy says, you don't have cards. I'm not here to play.
Mm. I didn't come to play cards. You want to play matatu.
Zelensky
Impossible.
has lived to see
This
this.
is the last one for us to get into
Sure.
the news. They say always pay off the highest interest loan first.
First of all, be mindful of debt. Huh? Debt is like fire.
Mm.
Fire is very good. Fire is very bad. Actually, fire is neither. It's neither good or bad. Huh? It depends on how we use it. Fire can cook our food. It can propel us in our engines, like Jesse's moving on Akagera Aviation. That's
It
also
can
fire.
also burn us to
It
death.
can also burn you to the ground.
By the way, Bank of Kigali is giving 50 million right now
In
in
15 hours.
In 15 hours.
Hey, sit on your
do
phone
not
and do that.
undermine the capacity for you to get into that chopper and go up country. You can afford it
And move.
and move.
BK will carry you.
Yeah, of course.
BK loans.
To
Listen.
access 50 million in
It's
15
called
hours.
BK
Uh-huh.
Quick Plus.
Quick plus.
Yes.
Hey.
Now, that 50 million,
Mm.
it can be a massive support for you to start productive activities that make money.
Mm-mm.
Debt can really push you forward if you use it correctly. Just like
Yeah.
fire can push you forward if used correctly. When you use debt badly, it can burn everything down.
Mm.
Just like fire, when you use fire badly. So how we manage our debt and how we is also depending on the way we take. Just because somebody's giving you money doesn't mean that you should take it.
Mm.
Jesse, look at me nicely.
So
Don't look
Isaac
at me
comes
badly.
to me and says, I have money. Would you want some of this money? I'm like, I don't know you.
Sign.
Don't give me this money. I
Sign.
don't know you. How?
Sign here. Because somebody doesn't give you money, huh? Someone can report to you that you took the money and you didn't follow the procedures for paying it back. And they say, where's the contract that you signed? And you say, we didn't sign a contract, but I gave the money. You can see the bank statement here. I gave, the other one has received it. They've accepted. You go to jail.
So you mean, for instance, their sponsors, these Nigerians who come around.
Wait a minute. Why does it have to...
Who are you hanging with
Why?
these days?
A Nigerian, I'm told, who came around
Uh-huh.
and saw a beautiful woman at the hotel and said, hey, accept my gift.
That's different.
What's your bank account?
That's different.
That's very
That's
different,
different.
Jesse.
somebody
so someone say,
Nobody
no, I
can
don't
sue me
want.
for
as
that.
gift. There's nothing you'll say. You can't.
There's
There
no
was
contract
there was
Gift
nothing,
is no contract.
nothing
That's a- it's a
written
giving.
whatsoever.
So
No,
somebody
but you have
sends you
verbally said it. This is a
14
gift.
million Rwanda francs on the
Yeah.
account as
Now,
a gift.
now
I
the
want
problem
that.
you
I
have
want
to,
that Nigerian.
No, the
Where are
question
they?
is before Juliana jumps to
I
find
will
this
take that
Nigerian.
money wholeheartedly.
Nothing
Very
in this
peaceful.
life
It's for free.
It's for free.
is free.
We shall see
In
that later.
fact, if you look nicely,
Mm.
free things are the most expensive.
Yeah. you pay heavily in the long run.
You pay heavily in other ways. Yeah.
So a sponsor's money should be
But,
declined.
but Isaac, let me
Just
let
be
me, let
ready
me,
to be a sponsor.
No.
A sponsee.
Don't
is a
think you're
sponsee?
being sponsored
But also-
and now you are equal. Wapi.
Isaac,
You are sponsee.
let me say this.
Ah.
Sponsor.
Uh-huh.
Please don't run away. Bring that money. Me, I know how to utilize that.
No. Don't know how to use it. Know that you are a sponsee. So when somebody says, "Come sit on the floor next to me,"
You will sit.
don't ask anything.
Turn
Sit
around.
down. When somebody says jump and touch the ceiling, you jump because you're not
How
an
high?
equal.
Me, I will ask, how high do you want me to jump?
Uh-huh.
It's all right.
People need to understand the
money.
cost of free things.
Isaac, on Wednesdays, Money Matters Wednesdays, we bring an end to this conversation. We'll be back next Wednesday on the myth about making and keeping your money. 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, the news is coming up next.